If you're having trouble changing your habits, the problem isn't you. The problem is your system. That's one of my favorite quotes from the book Atomic Habits. How hard could building habits be? I know at first I was reluctant to pick this book up because what else could they possibly say about habits? The reason why this book keeps on charting on the bestsellers list year after year is because it makes you question how you set your goals your whole life, and clearly why the good habits you want to keep never stay and the bad ones never leave. I'm here to make it very simple because it's not just about reading, but actually taking action. Let's say your goal is to build better relationships with friends and family and actually take time to check in and catch up. What would you normally do? Probably write it on your to-do list and glance at it for weeks, but never actually get to it because, let's be honest, there's always more important things to get done. The thing is, you know that this is something that you want to do because you want to maintain those close ties. You want to improve those relationships, and you always feel better the couple of times a year that you have picked up the phone, but there just never seems to be time. Let's scratch that to-do list and use the tools James Clear shares in Atomic Habits to build that habit up. Take notes because it's about to get very good, and it's the same process you can follow with any other habit you want to build up. First step, make it obvious. Using time and location can make this a whole lot easier. For example, knowing that in the kitchen while cooking dinner, you'll call up a friend and have it on speaker while you continue your task. By doing this, not only are you using time and location to build up a system, but also habit stacking because dinner time is already a habit. It's not just about having your phone in plain sight. We all know that would end up with us scrolling versus calling that childhood friend that deep inside we know we want to catch up with. This particular example is a bit more challenging because the same device we are supposed to use for this positive habit we're trying to build is the same device we use for a habit most of us want to decrease, which is spending time on social media. Step 2, actually find a way to make them attractive. So now the goal is to make picking up that phone way better than spending time endlessly scrolling through social media. Maybe rewarding yourself with a chocolate or enjoying a glass of your favorite drink while chatting with this person will incentivize you to get it done. Step 3, make it easy. There's a reason why these phone calls rarely get done, and it's because there always seems to be something better to do. If your environment is set up to be super hard for you to make that phone call at dinner time because the kids are running around and you're also trying to handle homework time, well, it's just not going to get done. Changing the time to perhaps the drive after dropping off your kids at school might make this habit a lot easier. The goal is to reduce any friction, and keep in mind that at first it won't be easy. It won't be easy because you're doing something new. You'll want to start dialing, and then thoughts will come up like, well, they might be busy, or I could just call later will come up. But that's exactly when incorporating the 2-minute rule comes into play. A new habit should take less than 2 minutes. And luckily for this example, starting a phone call is always less than that. So there's no excuses. If you're developing a habit like starting to work out or read daily, the goal would be to read for 2 minutes versus you saying that you want to finish a whole book in a week. And step 4, make it satisfying. You'll always be in a good mood after catching up with a good friend you haven't been in touch with. And that's the feeling you have to tap into to make this habit repetitive. And before you realize, you'll be reaching that goal of having good relationships all around you. If you were to have started only focused on that goal, chances are not a lot would have changed. But by focusing on building a process, that goal ends up being achieved. Day to day, it might not feel different, but in the long term, looking back is when you realize that 1% every day really adds up with time. Let's flip the switch for a moment. What would these steps look like if the goal was to get rid of a bad habit? Let's say you've made up your mind and the goal is to quit smoking in 3 months. From what we just learned, we know that just setting up that goal isn't getting us anywhere. It's about actually building up a system around this that will make it happen. The easiest way to make it obvious is by changing your environment. Therefore, removing any trace of cigarettes or lighters that might create a cue in your brain to want to start smoking. For step 2, now we want to do the opposite by making this bad habit unattractive. Making a simple list of why quitting is important or how much better your health would be is a great start. Step 3, we're going from making it easy to now making it impossible. What if your credit card blocked the store where you normally purchased your cigarettes from? Get creative and think of the best ways to make it quite literally impossible to get back into this hole. Many people think they lack motivation, when what they really lack is clarity. This clarity can be even having a habit tracker where you visually see your process while marking it off each day. Another great way is finding an accountability partner and communities where this habit that you're letting go of is no longer present. So there you have it. Next time you're questioning why this new habit isn't sticking or why this bad habit hasn't left, don't just look at the one thing as a goal, but rather focus on building a system in the direction that you want to go. If you've already read the book, drop your thoughts down below. And if this episode left you hungry for more, the book link is down below in the description.